Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and joining me here today. I am going to be talking to you about 4 of the most grateful benefits, or the biggest benefits, to scheduling your time. But before I get into that, I want to encourage you, if you do not have a copy of my book yet, Work Less, Teach More, the book's whole job is to help you to reduce the amount of work that you're doing, to allow you to have more time to be effective as a teacher and to have more time to live a life you love outside of school. Now, I only ask you to cover postage and handling, and if you want a copy, head to teacherspd.net/free WLTM for Work Less, Teach More. So teacherspd.net/free WLTM. Grab yourself a copy of that book, and I hope it really starts to improve your effectiveness, reducing your workload, and allowing you to live a life that you love outside of school as well. Now, today we're actually talking about an aspect that's in that book, and that is the benefits of scheduling your time. And I actually believe that scheduling your time is probably the biggest thing that you can do to reduce your workload as a teacher. And the main reason that this works is because it's our first benefit too. Actually, it's the benefit number 1, which is to become more purposeful with your time by creating a schedule of your time for a whole week, right? You sit down, plan out a whole week here. By creating that kind of a schedule and planning out what you're doing hour by hour, it means you are being purposeful with your time. And so you start to say, well, when I get to school in the morning, what should I do first? Right? And you actually start to think through that process. And so you put in there, I'm going to finish writing a unit of work, or I need to finish that lesson plan that I'm going to deliver in period 6. Hopefully that's not the case, but you're putting in maybe some kind of deep work, some harder work, some work that really requires focus that you're going to do before school even gets started. And then as you go through, you might have a recess break. Well, what's the best use of my time during recess when everyone's in your staff room and there's kids knocking on your door? That's not a time to be doing deep work, right? That's a time to do maybe some shallow work. You're going to start doing work like checking your emails or something like that at that point in the day, rather than right at the beginning of your day. And so you're just setting up a system here by scheduling your time so that you are more purposeful. And so when you then are scheduling your time at home, right, you say, well, when I first get home, I actually only have a 3-hour window where I'm at home at the same time as my children are. And so during that 3-hour window, I'm going to prioritize my kids, right? I'm going to make sure that I'm spending time with each of them, or maybe I'm going to make sure I'm actually working with one of them on developing their reading, or maybe I'm going to work with one of them to help them with a particular skill set that they're working on a hobby that they're into, anything like that, right? You're actually going to schedule in some quality time with your kids because you're being purposeful with your time. You're not just going to get home, chuck your bag down, kind of unwind, have your coffee and go, oh, what am I going to do for the rest of the day? Your kids come home, they talk about stuff, maybe you're involved in that, maybe you're not, maybe you get cranky. There's lots of things that can happen that can influence what happens with that time. Whereas if you're being purposeful, you're waiting for when your children get home and go, right, as soon as they get home, this is what I want to be able to do with them. Or maybe it's just like, I'm going to ask them what they want to do and I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, what would you like to do for the next hour? And they're with me, right? And they might say, well, I really want to, chat about this particular topic, or I want to go and do some shopping with you because I actually need new shoes. And you go, great, let's go shopping together. And you actually go and you spend that hour with them going shopping, chatting about life, getting shoes. It's just a byproduct of everything else that's going on with you developing that relationship. And so the number 1 benefit, and I think the most important benefit, is being purposeful with your time. Because even your schedule doesn't have to be really rigid, right? You can have a flexible schedule that gets interrupted sometimes, but you then just reschedule your day when it gets interrupted because you're being purposeful. And when someone asks you, you can go, well, do I want to allow that to change the rest of my day? And that's an important question. So number two is that by scheduling your time, you are balancing things out. You actually are choosing what takes up your time and what takes up how much of your time. And so you might actually start to schedule in some exercise time. And you go, right, I actually need to get some exercise done to stay healthy. So that means that 3 days a week, I'm going to schedule maybe Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. In the evenings, I'm going to go and get some exercise done. Could be just going for a run, going for a walk, going to a gym, playing whatever sport that you play, anything like that. You're being purposeful in balancing out where you spend your time. And that has benefits for your health. It has benefits for your relationships, because you can go, right, I've got this whole week where I've scheduled stuff, or I'm beginning to schedule stuff. When am I actually going to spend time with my partner? When am I going to spend time with my children? When am I going to spend time in this hobby that I want to actually get done? And when am I going to spend time developing myself as a teacher? Or when am I going to spend time, developing my relationship with these students that I have? Where does that fit into my schedule as well? And so you're balancing out all your systems and processes and your workload, which is amazing, because it is going to have a great impact on your stress levels. It's going to have a great impact on your health, on your relationships. And this is, if you don't schedule your time, I really don't know why you're not doing this. It is one of the most beneficial things you can do. I could list so many. Number 3, for this little episode that we're doing today, you become not just more productive, but you become more effective. Because you do become more productive, because when you get to that time, right, it gets to lunchtime, you're like, I know exactly what I'm doing at lunch. I'm going to go and sit by myself in my actual classroom. I'm going to close that door, pull the curtain so no one knows I'm in there, and I'm going to smash out a whole bunch of work where I'm not distracted, where I'm going to get this done. And that's productivity. You're becoming more productive in that sense, but you're also becoming more effective, because you're choosing when you're going to do those harder tasks, those deep work tasks, compared to those less deep work tasks. Like if you've got this beautiful time that every day you're in your staff room all by yourself, and you are spending it doing shallow tasks, or just walking around, slowly preparing, coffee or whatever. I know teachers, I used to walk around my staff room grinding his coffee with his hands. That's a waste of time, right? Unless it's relieving your stress or anything like that, then maybe it's okay. But you can actually go, right, I've got this chunk of time, I've scheduled it, therefore I'm going to become more purposeful and more effective with my time. You're not allowing all these in-between things to take away from your time. And you're choosing, because you're being able to balance things out, you're actually choosing to become more effective. You're actually choosing to put things into your schedule that improve your health, that reduce your stress. Maybe it's some meditation. Maybe you're going to read a book, right? Maybe you're going to spend more time just doing some social things with friends, because that's something that helps to relieve your stress and enables you to enjoy life more. And so by putting these things in, you actually become more effective when you're on, right? When you actually have the time that you've scheduled in to do your work, you are more effective, because you're more focused, you're more refreshed, you're not as stressed, and you are going to get more work done in that time. You're going to become more effective. You're going to be choosing the tasks that really matter most to your teaching, right? So you're going to be choosing, well, with this hour that I have, what is the most effective use of my time at that point? Is it going to be that I need to spend some time interviewing a student to get to know them better? Or am I going to be writing my programs, or am I going to be writing my reports 3 weeks before they're actually due, so that I don't have that stress that comes at the end with my reports? Lots of things that we can do here as we're scheduling our time. And the fourth and final benefit that I'm going to talk to you about today is that it becomes easier to say no. And I think that is a huge benefit for any teacher, to be able to say, actually, I can't do that, I'm busy. And I think that is just so freeing, to actually go, well, I don't have free time, right? Unless you've particularly scheduled it as free time. But even that, you've scheduled it, it's not free time. You've probably scheduled something you're going to do during that free time. You're going to read your book, you're going to relax, you're going to get a massage, okay? And you can say to anyone, even your principal, when they call you and they say, can you please come down for a meeting about blah? You can actually say, I'm so sorry, I can't. I already have something in my schedule. Can we rebook for tomorrow at this time? Can we rebook for next week at this time? And if it is not an important and urgent thing, your principal will probably say, yep, not a problem, let's reschedule it, and then you'll find the time, okay? That is super impactful for you as a teacher, because suddenly everything's not just getting thrown out all the time, right? You're not just going, well, I am free, I haven't planned anything, and so yes, of course I can do that. You actually know what you're meant to be doing and that you can't do that. And I think that can have such a huge impact on your life as a teacher, to be able to reduce your workload, to just be able to say no to things. When you're asked to do something, you just go, actually, no, I'm busy at that time. You've got a block in there that you're going to see now that says, time spent with your son, right? That's in your calendar. And then someone's going to ask you at school, can you be involved in the musical? We meet at this time, and you're going to look at your calendar and say, actually, I can't. I have something in there that's super important to me that I cannot miss. And then it might be that you want to be involved and you can schedule into another time, but you know what it's actually taking you away from when you look at your schedule. And so you can start to really count up the cost of the things that you are saying yes to. And so there are 4 really quick benefits of scheduling your time. You become more purposeful with your time. You can balance out what you're spending your time on. You become more effective by doing that, and you can start to say no more easily. Now, if you want to go into more detail about what you can do to improve your effectiveness, to reduce your workload, then please make sure you go to teacherspd.net/free WLTM, grab a free copy of my book, just pay for postage and handling, and it will come to you, and you can read through that, and it will help you to reduce your workload as well. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon.